Hello everyone and welcome back to the arena for another season of Dungeons and Death Battles, the series where we search for the most lethal monster in all of Dungeons and Dragons. The rules are simple. The fight takes place in the arena, combatants start 30 feet apart, there is no fleeing the arena, and victory is achieved by kill only. In this third season of Dungeons and Death Battles, 16 deadly dungeon denizens will be duking it out to find out which one of them is worthy of being crowned the CR3 Arena Champion. Today we have a battle between two feral monstrosities, with crowd favourite the Owlbear taking on none other than the rather disturbing Manticore, and about to see which one of these contenders is going to have what it takes to make it through to the quarter-final round. And the crowd have been waiting for this one, and the arena is not one to disappoint. And so as the crews warm their beasts up for this battle, it is time to jump into a competitor analysis. And so starting things off with the Owlbear, the creature comes in with 59 hit points and an AC of 13, all backed up with some rather impressive stats, with highlights being 20 strength and 17 in constitution, meaning that this brute really does pack a punch as it swings in with its claws and its beak attacks. It's also rather fast as well, with a 40-foot movement speed, meaning that it is able to close gaps very effectively. And then on the other side of the arena, we have the Manticore. Half man, half lion, half dragon. The Manticore is well known for its tricky nature, as well as its tail spines, which it can hurl at opponents from a distance, transforming them from living into pincushion in a matter of moments. Now, the Manticore does come in with the slightly higher hit point pool of 68, with that AC of 14. And now it does have a slightly lower strength score of 17, which is still impressive nonetheless, also backed up by a 17 in constitution and a 16 in dexterity. The Manticore, of course, also been able to swing in with a bite and claw attack on top of those tail spines. But it is, of course, worth noting that the Manticore does have a limited number of its tail spines, 24 to be exact, so it will need to be careful with what it is able to do with those. And so, after that quick analysis, it does look like the crews already, the monsters have been placed into their respective positions in the arena, which does, of course, mean it is time to roll for initiative, starting with the Owlbear and its +1 modifier. So Owlbear rolling in first here. Let's see what it can get with a +1 to this. With a 7, +1 for 8. That is not the highest in the world, but we have seen worse in the arena. So let's see what the Manticore can do and see if it can wrench initiative from the clutches of the Owlbear. So Manticore with a +3 to this, looking to beat a total of 8. And rolling in with a 9, that 3 is going to top that up to 12, which is going to mean that the Manticore takes pole position here in this round of Dungeons and Death Battles. And as is in its nature, the Manticore is going to immediately take to the air, flying above the Owlbear, where it will unleash its first volley of tail spines. And it gets to roll in with 3 of these immediately. So there's 3d20s coming in +5s here, looking to beat an AC of 13. Let's see what it can do, as the Manticore remains within 100 feet of the Owlbear in order to ensure it is rolling these straight. So let's see what we get. First 3 rolling in. And with the lowest there being an 11, +5, topping that up to a 16, that does mean that all 3 of those are going to hit, as the Manticore just rains down a shower of quills, which immediately embed themselves in the hide of the Owlbear, which no doubt screeches up into the open air of the arena, bellowing a cry of discontent. So with those 3 hitting, that does immediately mean we're rolling in with 3d8 +9 points of piercing damage. So let's roll those in right now. And that is a very, very solid roll right there, with a 3 and a 7 for 10, +8 for 18 points of damage, with that +9 pulling that up to 27 points of damage from that initial barrage from the Manticore, which is going to reduce the Owlbear down to 32 hit points. An incredible first attack there from the Manticore, as it really showcases the potency of those tail spikes. And that was an average damage output of 9 points per spine there. The Owlbear will really have felt that. And we will hand over to the monstrosity, which unfortunately is unable to do anything apart from once again bellow towards the Manticore. Anticipating that the creature is going to stay up in the sky though, the Owlbear is going to take the dodge action, so it's at least going to try and reduce the output potency from the Manticore and its tail spines. Although it does look like things are only going to get worse for the Owlbear as it hands over once again, as the Manticore is going to maintain that distance while it has its tail spines, as it rightfully should. It is a semi-intelligent creature with a 7 intelligence and a 12 wisdom, meaning that the Manticore is most definitely going to maintain its aerial advantage while it can. And it does have 21 more tail spines left in the chamber, and it looks like the Manticore is just going to use those turn and turn again until it has none left. And that is exactly what it's going to do. And just for the purpose of fast tracking, and we are just going to watch the Manticore burst forth with all of its tail spines, one after the other here, which does mean we would need to be rolling in with 21 d20s, albeit all of them at disadvantage due to the Owlbear taking that dodge action. So tailspine volley number 1 coming through at disadvantage, and for the sake of rolling crits, you're going to have to roll these in separately. The number 1 coming through, and that first one is a miss right there. Second one coming in, yet another miss. Third one, and that one will hit with the 10 plus 5 for 15. So rolling in that first d8 with a 7 plus 3 for 10 more points of damage as we hand back over to the Owlbear, which once again is forced to make the dodge action, which then passes back to the Manticore for yet another volley. 18 tailspines still remaining. So firing in once again. 7 plus 5 falling short, only totaling 12 there. Number 2. And that one just about scrapes through with an 8 plus 5 totaling Owlbear's armor class of 13. Means we have yet another d8 worth of damage rolling in from the Manticore. And that is a 1 plus 3 for 4, which will bring the Owlbear down to 18 hit points, as we do of course have one more attack coming in. Once again, rolling in these d20s on disadvantage as yet a third tailspine flies through the air once again, honing in on that Owlbear's position. And that 6 is unfortunately going to fall short once again, leaving the Owlbear to take the dodge action. A smile crossing the Manticore's face as it looks at the crowd, its sickening rows of teeth reinforcing that it is going to continue shooting at the Owlbear as if it were nothing more than a fish in a barrel. The Owlbear, of course, has taken the dodge action, but the Manticore does still have plenty more tailspines left, 15 to be exact. And it is going to continue to do what it's doing until it has no other options than to get into melee. Continuing on, Manticore, yet another volley of tailspines. First one rolling in once again at disadvantage, and an 18 and a 19. It certainly looks to be getting its eye in with those rolls. And an 18 plus 5, constituting 23. An absolute surefire hit right there. D8 rolling in once more, and with a 3 plus 3, that is another 6 points of damage. Owlbear down to 12 hit points as 2 more volleys fire across the battlefield, with bores meaning that that does miss. The Owlbear clearly getting slightly wise, but will it be wise enough to dodge yet another volley, as there is one flying in right as we speak? And with 2 16s there, again, that is a surefire hit with 21 on the dice, meaning that we are of course going to see some more damage, another d8 plus 3's worth, and that is another very, very solid hit right there. The Manticore really showing what it can do with these tailspines. An 8 plus 3 for 11 points of damage, which has reduced the Owlbear to a single hit point. This was really not the encounter that the forest monstrosity was hoping for, and weak and wearied, blood is draining from the creature in front of our very eyes as it once again takes a hopeless dodge action as the Manticore hones in for the kill. It flies in low. It is looking to finish the job right here, and so once again rolling in at disadvantage. Let's see what the Manticore can do, and that natural 20 unfortunately is not going to cut it, as a 3 plus 5 only totals 8. Second roll coming through, and there we have it. A 10 plus 5 is going to make for 15, and with its plus 3 modifier to this attack, it is impossible for the Manticore not to take victory here. But we are here to roll in dice. Let's see just how much damage the Owlbear is going to be destroyed by. And that is a 1 on that dice. An almost insulting amount of damage right there, as 1 plus 3 totals 4, which does extinguish the life from the Owlbear, bringing down the crowd favorite, a screech of agony and pain echoing throughout the arena as the monstrosity falls to the ground, a pile of lifeless, bloody feathers and spines left to join the other fallen competitors of the arena. The Manticore, of course, maintaining its height, showing off the many more tailspines that it could have indeed used should it have needed to, as it proclaims its victory to the crowd and cements itself in the quarterfinal round of the 3rd season of Dungeons and Death Battles. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this absolute slaughterfest, which saw the Manticore dismantle the Owlbear from its aerial vantage point. And I hope you'll join me again next time when the Hellhound takes on the Red Cap in what I can say has been one of the most highly anticipated battles of the entire series so far. And of course, if you did enjoy your time here in the arena, please consider dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, and of course, commenting your thoughts down below. If you want to get slightly more involved with the goings on here, you can head over to the Patreon, where we do host things like polls, where you can get involved by voting on the creature that you think is going to win the next battle, and of course, joining in any conversations that are going on over there. And with all that said, thank you once again very, very much for watching, and I will see you back in the arena for another battle very soon.